Hi, I'm Kat, and today I'm going to show you how to make your very own salon or barber capes. And you can use whatever material you'd like, such as satin or polyester, PVC, whatever. And I'm going to show you how to make these in the most easiest way possible, because honestly, I'm not perfect at sewing, and I like things very easy myself. So you're just going to need a few things today. First, I have 4 yards of this beautiful fabric. Most capes I think are around like 3 yards, the very simple ones. My cape today is going to have a high collar. Of course, I will show you a step before that if you do not want a high collar that you can do. So you need that, and then you just need a plate. Everybody has usually a small plate. This is going to be for the neck. If you want to do a little bit bigger, go for it, but you will be folding the fabric. So even though we cut it to be this size, it'll actually be a little bit bigger. A scissors, and a sewing machine. And you don't have to worry, you just need a basic sewing machine. You're not going to use any fancy advanced buttons or anything. I don't know how to use that. So I'm not going to make you worry about any of those either. Alright, so let's get started. So, one great thing that I love about going to a fabric place is that when the fabric comes off the bolt, it's already folded. This will make so much sense a little bit later. But for now, let's just open the fabric. And I have a lot here, so it might take me a couple minutes. And when you do this, do it over a surface where it's flat and that has lines of some sort, kind of like even lines, because this is great so you don't have to like measure and then try to figure all that out. And I don't want to like mark fabric, no. So you find a place where it has lines, and then you will open it up and measure, or not really measure it up, but you'll open it up, because when it's cut, it should already be straight. So yes, one less thing that you have to do. Alright, so for me, I want to have a collar, and I'm going to make it probably about a foot or so. And as you can see, it's not perfect, it's a little uneven, but we'll be sewing, and so no one's going to notice that. Okay, so if you are doing the one with the collar, then that step is done there. But if you're doing a simple one, or if you're doing this one, next, you lay out your fabric, and this is probably the easiest part. Now just look at this color. It's very, it's very soft and very silky. It's nice, shiny polyester. What I like to do is figure out like how much of the cloth you want to like drip off into the back. So I'm going to put the top here, and then what I usually do is I kind of like lay down. Alright, because I'm thinking I want, let's see, I think that's going to be good, because this mount is going to drip down the back, and I think that's probably a good amount. So I want it to hang over the chair as well. And so again, remember how I said that it's fantastic when it's folded in half because it leaves this line, and you can see that. But there's a nice line that goes right down the middle, and it's perfect down the middle. So all you have to do is cut down that far. Oh yes. And then, once you kind of figure out how much of the cloth you want to come down the back. Then you just lay your plate pretty much right in the middle of the line. So make sure it's kind of about half. Then I gotta grab my scissors. So here you just cut right down. The middle. Okay, let's see. Yeah, not that much. Okay, and so when you get to your plate, you can either cut around it like I'm going to do, or if you want to get fancy, you can always take a fabric pencil and draw around it, but this works just as well. Except when the plate moves along. As you can see, mine's nowhere near perfect. Almost as big as the plate. Then that's totally fine. So as you can see, if I can make a cape, you can very easily make a cape. Alright, so now, if you just wanted something very simple, this could be it. This could be the most simplest cape ever if you wanted to go that route where, ta-da, great length, you wrap it around, you would just need like a tie bar, or you can get a nice clip, cape clip, you just do that, and there you go, a beautiful cape. But we want to be a little more finished than that. So I'm going to just turn on the sewing machine, and it's at just one, which is this one right here. So very basic. So again, you don't have to do anything special. And then, I always like to start at the edges first, where it looks like this, and then all I'm doing is you fold it over once, fold it over twice, and then you just start sewing. And if you want to use pins and needles, you can, but I find they get in the way. And so as soon as you start it, then you hit the little reverse button for a few seconds. And that kind of locks the stitches in place. And as you see, I'm constantly like turning the edge in. Now it doesn't matter if you stay in the middle or you get to the side. It's however, yeah, it sews. Or if you want to like try to control it more, it's totally up to you. Me, I kind of just let it go. So here's what it looks like. Then you can go ahead and cut off all the little extra threads. And if you get some parts where it looks a little bit like that, no big deal. Don't even worry about it. No one is going to notice but you, if you do notice. So now we'll continue to the other side. Alright, so that's what this looks like. Very nice. Now we're going to do the other bottom. Well, because it's the only bottom. And the same thing. I'm going to take a little bit of break and I'm going to wash this out because I'm coloring my hair this cherry crush, beautiful red color. And so I'm going to wash this out, and so I'll be back. Alright, so if you look at your cape, all the edges, both sides, the bottom should be done and should look pretty damn nice. So I think that is like the easiest ones to sew. So I'll show you what it looks like so far. Looking good. Alright, so this part will be the tricky part, the neck. We're going to do the same thing as before, where we fold it over, so fold over once and then twice, so we have that nice roll. And what I like to do is I like to do the outside. That'll be hanging back first. I like to leave this part for last, the dip, because this part is a little tricky. You know how when I was sewing, when I had folded it like this, and it was nice and smooth pretty much the whole entire way, then this dip, the neck, is going to be quite a bit different because of the curving. You're going to have to constantly roll it and then hold it. And so you're going to see lines kind of like crossing, like that, which is completely fine. So, and there's some things you can do, but otherwise it'll look fine just like that too. Alright, so let's do these parts next, because again, let's do the easy stuff first. Again, you take your fabric, fold it in, like about there. I'd say about a finger width, but you can do whatever you want. And again, you don't have to worry about being a perfectionist. Just, yeah, just sew it. Oh yeah, this is my new hair color now. I'm letting it air dry. because fabric can stretch, try not to like pull on the fabric as you're sewing it. So here we go. Here's what it looks like so far. So now we're going to do this one. See, that's why also, if you sew and it's a little like this, no big deal, because you're just going to fold it over anyway. See? That looks perfect. We just have this one to do. All we have left is the neck. And this is the tricky part. So all I can say is do your best, try to fold it. And you'll see what I mean in a little bit. Okay, it's going to twist and turn on you. All right. And that would be the trickiest part. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. So, not too bad. So for some of you, if you want to quit here, that's totally fine because we basically have a cape. I'll show you what this will look like. Okay, it's super long. And then of course you would need a clip. You just put a clip like right here. So you hit a clip there, this is what it would look like. But there you go. Beautiful cape. For me, it's way past. For those who want to make the nice high collar, we'll work on that. You're going to take your fabric they cut earlier, and with your fabric there should be two sides. You've got a shiny side or a more colorful side, and then you have the dull side. So what we're going to see is the dull side. So you're going to fold it in half, and you should only see the dull side. With your fabric, for this, cut it directly in half. And then, for each side, make sure they line up pretty close. You are going to sew it completely. And then once you have both ends sewed, then we're going to turn it inside out, or inside in. So the inside is the one you want. Alright, and then just cut off your excess, although you don't really have to because no one's going to really see the inside. So turn inside out, and then voila. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we are going to fold this over like we did before. So here's what this looks like. So now to attach it to the neck. And if you want to, if you don't like how this looks in the front, you can always attach this to it. And that's what I usually do, is I'll attach it to the front part of it. So that kind of hides any mistakes or twists that you don't really like. So I kind of like to line up this line with that line, and then sew kind of like right there. Try to keep this as smooth as possible. If there's any bunches, it'll show up here, and then the bunches will stay in the fabric, which is fine. Well, this cape is not liking it, so that is fine. So let's put this on. Oh, and I did grab a tiebar. Make sure it's nice and snug against your neck there. very cool and smooth and snug. And then mine is super long. If I was sitting in a barber chair, you would not be able to see my feet or the footrest. So there you go. And of course, you can always adjust your the size of the cape in the back or in the front. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you got to make a super delicious cape out of this. And yeah, if you like these videos that I make, please subscribe and yeah, I guess enjoy the day and enjoy your cape.